we're still moving.
Yay!
Hey, there you go.
All right. And now, of course,
now we'll fix it.
I messed it up. All right.
That's all right. It messed itself up.
There we go.
It messed it. Now it's not. Can we
I'm
go?
so excited to be here.
Can we go, please?
All right. Are we good?
I don't know. We'll find out soon. But
my
anyway,
gosh.
we'll start. Oh yeah, here we are. Here we go. We're good.
Anyway. Okay.
We're good.
So,
We're good. We had some false starts there.
woo! First, we have to introduce ourselves. So,
I am Beth, per usual.
this is Ruth Mann.
Ruth Mann.
otherwise
I
known
am
as.
I am substitute Ruth Ann today in the rotating Ruth Ann chair. My name's David Nieves. I'm from comicsbeat.com, among other places, and probably your most wildest dreams.
I agree.
Nice.
And I'm Chris. And today we are drinking a wonderful whiskey called a Midwinter's Dram because
Oh.
it's midwinter.
Is this what it's called?
Yes.
Oh, it's lovely. I don't feel like I should put this on the table. I feel like it needs to be in the palm of my hand, constantly
It is
rotating, if you will.
It's the 4th bottle out of 5 ever made. So
Can we sip now, or
yes,
do we have to?
we
Oh,
can
yeah.
sip, but
Oh,
we have
yeah?
to cheers. We have to cheers to a happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
Happy holidays!
Yes. We're gonna be cheersing whiskey on Christmas too.
Mm-hmm. We're all going to be here for Christmas, having our maple bacon whiskey tasting, which is an annual thing that I do every year.
Except for Ruth Ann,
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
who
Am I invited to that?
Yes.
Oh, all right.
on Facebook, yeah.
Ah, there we go.
You said yes.
Yeah, except for Ruth Ann, who will still be in the UK with Gary.
Which, can't
He's
blame
the
her.
British. Sorry, that was my terrible Ruth Ann. But if you close your eyes,
See, but he's
you might be able to pick her out.
And David's also a button pusher, by the way, so be prepared to be enraged.
I mean, they've watched me just troll Ruth Ann for weeks.
Oh,
so
but he pushes everyone's buttons, not just Ruthan's. Okay, so let's start today.
What are we doing today?
All right, first thing up. Oh, and by the way, David, do you want to mention giveaways? We have giveaways
Oh
today.
yeah.
So-
I brought tons of stuff from publishers. It's all digital, so if you need to give video games to your loved ones, we've got Injustice, Shadow of War, Life is Strange. Which, if you go to Comics Beat today, I did a review for Life is Strange Before the Storm. Oh, I love it. But
I've heard really good things about it.
oh, it's phenomenal. I freaking love that story so
But
much.
I was told that for the mechanics and for the emotional, it's really good to have played the first one for the emotional arc of it.
You can get by without playing the first one, because my whole point about this was that it's such a standalone, universally grounded story. I mean, it's about dealing with the loss of a loved one,
Yeah.
and people moving on. You lose someone, and your mom remarries, and you feel like that person doesn't fit in your family. Those are things a lot of people deal with.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's freaking powerful.
There's a lot of really good games this year about death, the disappearance of Edith, or the
Whatever happened to Edith Finch.
too,
Oh,
is also,
that's a good one. That is very
Yeah.
if Tim Burton made a video game about a pregnant teen.
Oh my god.
But then it's about this girl that her whole family is cursed, and so everybody in her family has died, and she's going through the house and finding all these rooms, and you're learning the stories of all her ancestors and how they died.
Wow.
And it's a game that constantly feels like it's about to be a horror game, but then it never is.
But
anyway,
it does.
He has giveaways. I could also talk about video games.
we could talk about this all day, but I will leave it to you ladies how you want to give stuff away. I just provide the stuff.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. Awesome. We'll figure that out somewhere along the line.
Oh, it's a good trade-off for this. This is. Might I add,
Did you get the Death Star one? Who got the Death Star one?
I got the Death Star one because I am the guest today.
The Death Star ice cube. I don't think we've ever told them that the ice cubes are...
Nope.
Yeah.
This is the first
And
thing.
can you?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but it's the
It
Death
is.
Star.
Yeah. The rest of us just have regular old plain round ones.
You look
Big
like you
old
put
balls.
a ball in your drink.
Okay, so let's
Right
talk
on.
about how do you hide your disappointment
Oh,
if you get a bad Christmas
yes.
gift. Now,
Oh.
first of all,
Ooh.
can we all name a gift that we've been disappointed by?
The gift of life.
Yeah, right?
Jeez.
I,
That is
That's dark. This has gone dark.
So I think
accurate.
mine, and this is going to sound so boring, but it's also very situational. So my family actually has known for a long time that I'm secretly an old woman. So by age 15, I was like, socks? Yeah! But my father, he meant well, but he got me because when I was in like middle school and we still had like Discmans, I constantly needed AA batteries. But like my father,
Discman?
yeah. So my father,
I did too.
Not being,
It's not Discman?
no.
Discman?
I don't know.
God, I never even thought
I know,
about
but that's
it.
how I've always said it. Anyway, so it was like right on the cusp of I had like just gotten an iPod, but my father doesn't know anything about technology. So he got me this giant package of AA batteries thinking he was being helpful, and I literally used the last of them last year. They lasted me like 10
That's kind of
years,
awesome, though.
which was like
Yeah.
amazing, but like at the time when I was 15, I was like, what am I gonna do with all these batteries? Like they literally moved out of my mother's house with me. This is how many batteries
Damn.
he gave
That's
me.
actually
You had
awesome.
spare ones when you got angry at people on the freeway.
Like,
you just
yeah, I
chucked
just,
one at
oh
them.
my God.
Throw a battery at them, bam!
However, conversely, my dad is not very good at hiding when he's disappointed, because one year I was working at the Barnes & Noble and I got everybody books, and
He was disappointed at a book?
Well, he constantly sends
What
me
was
like
the
Far
book
Side
about?
cartoons.
Oh.
So I got him this thing that was like a cartoon history of the world, which I thought was really funny and I thought he'd enjoy. And he was like, I don't know why you'd think I'd want this. And I was like, okay,
Damn.
whatever.
Ooh.
That's cold.
So I didn't get him anything.
Well,
the
can I
next
tell
year.
you, by the way, okay, so here's one thing. All right, so back when I was married and I had to go to the in-laws for Christmas, my mother-in-law was from another country, and so she was a little quirky. That's all I'm going to say about that. But she once found out, and this is not a gift that was given to me, although I'm sure I could think of plenty of things that were weird that she gave to me, like pants. But she gave my father-in-law a canister of his favorite ground coffee, which I think happened to be, I don't think it was Folgers, but it was Colombian, or like something very average that you get at the grocery
Like
store.
the Juan Valdez
Yes,
thing?
but
Okay.
like it was like totally just a normal,
Yeah.
but he loved it, and so she got him that. But little did he know, she got him 10 canisters of it and individually wrapped them all, and he had to open each one
Oh
of them.
my God.
And she was just as excited every time he opened one. And at that point, like, you're in, you can't stop. You have to like be excited about every single canister of ground coffee that you get.
That's commitment. I understand
That's
that.
the other thing
It
with
was
my
incredible.
grandmother. My grandmother was infamous for this. She would bring like a whole like bag or like basket of stuff for you, and it was always like the weirdest like nothing stuff that she got at like the dollar store, or like
Yes.
like a package of like little like travel
Weird
size band-aids
stuff, yeah.
like and like things like that, and
I
then she
also-
would wrap them so elaborately and then like tie them all together, so it was like by the time you were done opening it, not
That's
only
some
was it a
love.
lot of useless crap, you had also just spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out how she tied the ribbon around the like closure on a thing so that you could get like, I was like, I just worked really hard for $5.
I actually once got a picture. I got a picture of my
Of yourself.
mother-in-law
Oh, okay.
that we had to hang because she would ask about it every time she came over.
Oh my God.
She
That's like
wanted it in the bedroom above the bed, and we were like, no, that's creepy.
The greatest-
But that's when you have it on like a reversible
Yeah,
thing, yeah. To where
Okay,
when they come over,
sure.
the
yeah.
greatest
Sure.
one. It's not like one I got from somebody, and I didn't even get this, but it was amazing.
Is
And
this this real greatest or like greatest disappointment?
No. This is like the greatest situation. There's a reason though.
Okay.
So this is, I'm gonna say, if you're doing a white elephant this year, please make sure all your guests know whether it's supposed to be gag gifts or real gifts.
Ooh, yeah.
Because I was
Yeah.
involved in a white elephant where everybody brought real gifts except for one girl who didn't know, and she brought a gag gift, and the gag gift was a signed, like, framed headshot of her when she was like 16 in her like sexy like 16-year-old headshot because she thought it was very funny.
Like a glamour
Is
shot?
this Julie Newmar that came
No,
to your
it was
party?
it was at the theater. it was a white elephant at the theater I work at. So she thought that was very funny. What ended up happening though is the person who got it never got traded away because he had to leave early. So like the first thing he opened, that's just what he was getting. So he ended up with this like sexy headshot of this girl, but he had to leave early because
So
he
he
had to
didn't
go
know
home
who it
to
was?
watch his 3-year-old son because his wife is pregnant.
Oh my
And like we all
God.
know his wife too, and she felt so bad that she spent the rest of the white elephant trying to win a toy so that she could give the toy she won
my
to
God.
them as an apology for having sent her husband home with this photo of her.
Ooh. It's awesome in a way, but I feel that pain.
Yeah.
But you know, like when we talk about all this, it just brings to mind that we live in this society where there has to be a etiquette to receiving gifts. Like we have to somewhat pretend that we're enamored or this is the greatest thing.
We're very big on the thought that counts.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and that is bull. That is
not true. The thought does not always count.
It does not always count.
Because sometimes the thought was petty.
No, sometimes the thought was just careless. Like,
wow.
And the thing is, like, when it's between, you know, casual friends, gift exchanges, you can't. You have to be happy with what you get. But when it comes to people who are supposed to know you and get you,
some people just suck at it.
Some people suck at it,
really
and you have to pretend like, oh, I'm so happy.
Sometimes it really is the thought that counts.
So I'll tell you, like, nah. Let me tell you. I dated a girl a while back, and I made it a point to not be disappointed. So I felt like there was nothing wrong in me being able to ask her, hey, what do you want for Christmas? I will get you anything you want, you just tell me. And then it's like, well, you get me whatever you think I would like.
That's bullshit.
It is total.
That's
and then
bullshit.
you can't say the same thing because you know you really want something, but me...
My whole family exchanges lists, so we all go off of lists.
That is a white people thing.
Yeah.
That is such a white people thing.
Okay.
Like,
I'm never disappointed though.
Yeah, so it's a thing. It's for sure a white people thing, and I have this weird split in that, like, with my dad's side of the family, it was always very explicitly like my stepbrother and I were to give them a list of what we wanted, and like my brothers was
Well, it's
always
not like
like
you got
my
everything
brothers
on the list.
well no
they picked.
but like my brothers was always like insane, and mine was always like, I don't know, gas money, like but that's whatever. But on my mother's side of the family, it was very, you don't ask for things. You don't ask for things. You understand that, you know, your grandma is going to get you what she's going to get you, and you're going to like it. Like,
and Ruthann would have a lot to say about this, because I know for a fact that her ex-boyfriend asked her for a list of things that she wanted, and she gave one to him, and he didn't get anything that was on the list, and she's like, why the fuck did you ask me for that?
Maybe she was too
also,
expensive.
No, it wasn't, because it was things like, oh, perfume, a pair of earrings, and then she got something super shitty. And I know because it still is like burned into her brain.
Well, that's different though. If somebody like asks you explicitly what you want and then like is like, well, fuck you, like that's totally different.
But that proves the point though. I mean, they're not together now.
Yeah.
Had he paid attention to the list, then maybe things would be different. But
I do have to give my husband credit. I don't give him a list, but he always does very well.
And some people do. Some people get that. But I feel like, because when I say, okay, I want this. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I do it every year. I do every year, every week. God, guys.
When I say, okay, I want, one year I said, hey, I want a PlayStation Vita. I've never had a Vita. This girl looked at me like...
I'm sorry I wear that, Blanche, ultimately. How you doing with those 3 games you can still play on it?
That's another episode, all right, altogether. I'm still a Vita supporter. I live on Vita Island. But... So I said, hey, I want a PlayStation Vita. I've never had a PlayStation Vita. And she looked at me like, why do I give that to you? Why don't you just... I'm telling you what I want, what will not disappoint me. And then the day of Christmas, she gives me like a gift card to an art supply store. And, you know, maybe she didn't listen... But at that point, December 26th...
Maybe she was like, I want him to be more artistic.
December 26th, I was single again. That's all I'm going to say.
Oh my God.
Sorry, if you're out there paying attention.
Probably not.
She's not watching this.
I can almost guarantee she's not watching this.
Well, not... When you put my name on it, guarantees that she's not, unless she's looking to assassinate me.
Well, I can honestly say I don't think I've ever told anyone that I was disappointed with a gift or shown it on my face, because I don't know.
Or do you think that you didn't show it on your face? Because some people tend to go home and they wonder, like, I wonder if they really liked that.
So I dated this person, who worked for a comic book company. All right, I'm not gonna say which one.
That's fine.
But
there's only 4 comic book
and it was a casual thing. It was not very. You know, we weren't like very like, oh, we're gonna be together forever and get married. Like, there was not that expectation, but it did last quite a while, and there were gifts. Okay, now the gifts that I got were crap that he would find in his closet that he got for free from said companies.
I do that.
I do that.
Okay, all right.
But I only do that to my little nieces and nephews who think that shit is amazing.
Yes.
I did not think it was amazing. because I also, as you recall, worked for a comic book company.
Yeah.
So you had all this stuff already, basically.
It didn't have, like, that exact stuff, but I got free shit.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things, like if I'm getting free shit and you're getting free shit, we're gonna exchange and read anyway. Don't fucking wrap that shit up and write a note on the inside and give it to me.
No.
But
I give my little cousin stuff, but I also buy stuff.
I did say something.
And then re-gift.
I did say something because I did think it was crappy, and I got sick of it, and I was like, please stop doing that. Like, how about you put a little fucking thought into it and buy me something original? And then I got little tea light candles that were like, oh, I thought you'd like them in this scent. And I was like, all right, you suck at this.
The sense of failure?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, you're just the worst. No.
And you should absolutely be allowed to display displeasure proportionate to the amount of disappointment you get. So if it's a gift that, you know, someone puts some thought into it and you're not totally bummed out by it, you know, it's like, okay.
Yeah.
But if it's something where, like, this person gave me a cat, I'm allergic to cats, I should be able to just drop kick the cat and you out of my house.
Yeah, and I think what you were saying too is that it's also disproportionate. I think it's also proportionate, like you said, to like who it is.
Wait, side note. I would never actually drop kick a cat.
I assumed, otherwise I would have just slapped him. No, but I think it's also like if it's like a casual thing with like, oh, it's like a bunch of friends and we did a Secret Santa, or like yeah, fine, whatever. You're gonna get a weird thing.
Shit. Yeah,
like that's different than like
that's much different.
Somebody that like knows me very well and like asked me what I wanted and we discussed it, gets me fucking tea lights. Like, okay, then you're allowed to be mad.
Okay, so everybody who comes to my thing though on Christmas is gonna get a gift. It's not great. Don't expect it to be something.
No, you know,
I was expecting nothing, so that's going to be cool.
No, you know, last year you gave me a Vin Diesel mouse pad that was like taller than me, and I'm not a Vin Diesel fan, perchance.
But that still sounds astounding.
But I
have another one.
I'm good, thank you.
But I really like when I set it down on my desk at home, and I was like, okay, I see it, cool. And you know, like that was more of a case where I didn't get it.
That was also like a grab baggy type of a thing where no one's names were on it. It was just like, here, you get this, you get this, you get this, and whatever you get, you get. Because it's funny.
That's amazing.
Well, as long as you didn't get me the Vin Diesel suppositories.
Well, there was the Vin Diesel car mat that I still have. It's a XXX car mat.
Oh my god.
Marcus gets all this stuff, you know, it's all promo crap.
That's very funny.
But see, for a person who I wouldn't expect to give me anything regardless, that's cool.
Yeah.
But my thing with the etiquette is the people you love should be able to handle the truth of your disappointments.
Yeah.
Because
that's fair.
they should be able to go and say, you know what, I messed up, I'm going to do better next time.
Mm-hmm. I should probably throw in here that it's relevant when I'm talking about things. I've told her this, that several years ago, once I'm the youngest on my dad's side of the family, and so all of my older cousins, who I'm close with, have started having kids, and my stepbrother has a kid too. So once they all started having kids, I was basically like, hey y'all, I'm still in college, I'm very poor. I'm not in college anymore, but I'm still very poor. And I basically made a blanket statement at that point that if you were over the age of 15, you didn't get a gift. Because I was like, look, I can either buy all of you guys shit that you could buy yourself, like I can buy you all gift cards that you could go just get shit yourself, or I can buy really cool stuff for your kids. Pick one. You don't need to give me anything. I don't need anything. Especially because if I do go home for Christmas, I'm on the other side of the country. I don't need to bring a bunch of crap back with me. But if you're over the age of 15, you do not get a gift.
See, I feel the opposite because I think
kids don't appreciate it.
Well, not so much that.
Well, not the little ones, but the ones that like I know, like the like 8
that are
like,
into the same things you're into.
The like 8. Well, yeah. Well, that's the other thing. It works really nicely. I'm the book aunt. I just bring them comics every year, and they get super pumped. I fucking love it.
But when it comes to like, I feel like the parents are responsible for the gift for the child. Like if I like the parents, give the parents something because they're not rewarded in the same way. So you feel like you should get them something. So I have the opposite view.
I guess, but the rest of my family all gets presents for all the other adults. It's not like they're not getting anything. It's
I only have like 2 nephews, so
it's only So between my kids, there's now 3, 4. There's 6 kids now. So like this isn't like this didn't start until there were like 3 of them. When it was just like the one, I got everybody everything, and like the one kid, and I waited till he was old enough to like know. But then, like, now that there's 6 kids, I'm like, look.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I have a dog, and she gets me the best gifts.
What is it? The gift of companionship?
Yes. Thing no one else will give me.
I have a cat, and she gets me the worst gifts, pooping on my floor.
All right, with that, wait. Okay, so now we have to get into
So now let's talk about chocolate.
We're going to talk about chocolate.
After I talked about my cat pooping.
All right.
Yeah, that's not the greatest segue of all time, I'm going to say.
All right, so we're going to talk about shitty candy and awesome candy.
Okay, let me first say that, coming up with some favorites was harder than I thought it was going to be,
Ooh, not me.
So, like, I mark out for Reese's Pieces. I love Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. But they don't technically, for the sake of this...
But Fast Breaks. The Reese's Fast Breaks, oh, so good. It's one of my favorites.
I just like
the
peanut
Fast
butter and
Break.
chocolate anything. It doesn't have to be a Reese's.
But for the sake of debate, I wanted to keep this in the bar family.
Okay.
For our...
Fast Breaks are bars.
for this candy bargument,
okay.
if you will.
Look just like
It's
that.
okay. It's okay. I'll buy you one later.
But I also like Snickers.
Okay, let me start out.
Let him start with his opinions.
Okay. Almond Joy.
This is just garbage to me.
No!
Oh, I love
Whoever ordered a pina colada and said, you know what would
Actually-
top this off? An almond and some chocolate. No.
You know what? I actually like Mounds better than I like Almond Joy.
I
The
like
nut
Almond
kind
Joy.
of distracts me.
See, I like coconut, but I like coconut as just the flavor on its own. I don't want it in chocolate. I could take it in my drinks with rums, whatever.
I know.
Yeah, we hang out too much. But the thing is, I don't want coconut with chocolate. It's so weird.
Really?
I'll take it then.
I will.
I was just going to throw it behind me for dramatic effect, but you can have it.
Don't break it.
Okay, I
But
want to
no. We're not getting into
Oh.
the people's choice.
No! That one's gross.
I want to say this thing. What is this? Mr. Good Bar? More like Mr. Tries Too Hard.
What's in a good? I don't
It's
even
just
know
milk
what's
chocolate.
in
You take a perfectly normal
It's
Hershey's
average.
bar
It's average.
and you
It's
average.
and you smash some peanuts into it.
See, but conversely, the almonds, the Hershey's with almonds, I really like.
Now, see, here's the thing. You know how you get those variety bags, the little ones at Halloween that have like this one in it, and then they have like the crunch in it, and then they have all the little different ones that you can get. Whenever somebody at work brings a bag of that crap in, I will go for the Mr. Good Bar because I think the rest suck.
Really?
Yeah.
I like those little ones. They
the
call
plain Hershey
No.
ones?
They're the ones that you can only get in the little form. They're like Crunch bars, but they're really thick. Crackles. They're little
Crackles
red.
are okay.
No,
Crackles-
crackles are fantastic.
Yeah, they're...
And like, I don't like Nestle Crunch as a bar. Only when like it's one of
It's
those
a lot.
one of those charity
It's a lot to
knockoffs.
eat, yeah.
Yeah.
When it's like the charity knockoff bar, I can
Really?
take it. And I don't know why they don't get sued or cease and desisted because that's like a total ripoff. But I eat it.
Because it's
And
for
I,
charity.
I'm a big fan of one you don't have here.
which one?
Same.
The symphony bars.
I've never had
Oh,
one.
really?
They're really
Describe
cheap.
it to me.
They're
and
very
sell
cheap.
me on
Yeah.
it.
They're very cheap. They're just milk chocolate with like some like nuts and like toffee pieces in them. They're great.
You know, I'm going to show you guys some stuff here.
They're great. They're crunchy. They're sweet. They're chocolatey.
Okay.
They're not like my top chocolate in the world, but they're good and they're super cheap for some reason.
Oh,
It's like
jeez,
$2
what is
for like a
this?
giant bar.
These are a stack of chocolate bars.
What? From World Market.
Yes.
The greatest.
To all the
Blueberry,
diabetics watching, I apologize.
Bacon bits and chocolate.
That's good.
Black Forest cherry pie.
Chocolate and bacon's good.
S'mores milk chocolate. Strawberry and champagne. Chipotle chili dark chocolate.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
I
Caramel
don't like.
popcorn and espresso.
I don't like spicy chocolate.
It's Mexican.
I know. I
Hey,
understand that.
racist, be careful.
I understand, but like, yeah, no, there's like I've had like
Simone.
Chipotle chocolates and stuff. Like it just doesn't do it for no.
Anyway,
I also
so-
don't like
Well,
chocolate and peppermint.
But and here's
Chocolate and peppermint.
Oh my god.
you- let me tell you what the worst chocolate ever is.
Okay.
Charleston Chew. Not only is it
Yeah.
just
I don't know
Crazy
anybody
about
who
those.
likes it as anything other than a punchline.
not only is it a piece of a car that just fell off and they dipped in chocolate and sold it to people, it ruined comics. Because in the 90s, Charleston Chew ads were everywhere in comics.
Oh wow.
Like I would
I do remember that.
I would read Wolverine and then like I'd see this really awesome
You're
Sam
getting
Pete.
reprimanded and saying that bag has crackles, not crunch.
That bag has crackle, not crunch. Yes, that's crackle.
Crack.
Okay.
And how dare you hate
How
on the OG
dare
Mr.
you.
Goodbar?
Although I agree about the Almond Joy. That's crap. Yep.
Okay.
To you, Liz Chadwick.
But okay, I know her, so we're gonna fight. But yeah, so like Charleston Chew was the worst thing because it not only was it just rubber with chocolate around it that they sold to people, but like I would read Wolverine, I would see this awesome Sam Keith drawing, and then left page a giant ad for a Charleston Chew bar. And it ruined.
It grossed you out?
It almost ruined comics for me.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how bad it was.
Okay, I want to talk about the whatchamacallit.
Because maybe the comics just weren't that good.
This is a whatchamacallit, and
Yeah.
you can call it by name.
See, I've never had.
That's
I can't remember when
know.
I've had one of those. I like it. It's got the
I
great.
bought one for somebody
I used to
recently,
love
and I have
them.
no
It's
idea
got
what
the,
it is.
it's got the greatest name.
Yeah.
And it sounds really awesome, but I've never particularly had one, I don't think.
I
Or
think
that I
it's
can
caramel.
remember.
It's almost like a wafer crunch with caramel in it.
No, what we should do.
I think
These
we're
aren't
about
like
to get
plastic,
Wi-Fi
so we should
thing
just
again.
open it. I don't know how they'll pair with whiskey.
Although, can I just say
Oh,
that
there it is.
You want to get into that.
Three Musketeers is gross. Okay?
You know what a Three Musketeers is?
Yeah,
Air.
nugget.
A Three Musketeers is somebody took a cloud made out of chocolate, dipped it in more chocolate, and sold
You
it
know
to
what's
you
funny?
at your convenience.
No,
That's
the
my
nougat
mom's
doesn't
favorite
talk like
one.
chocolate. Doesn't taste like chocolate though. It tastes like marshmallow.
Oh yeah.
That's not chocolate.
Here.
Oh, let's do this. Let's see
Okay,
this.
yeah,
This is gonna
but
be
the
a-
Three Musketeers is actually my mom's favorite candy bar, and the Snickers is my dad's, and I clearly take after my dad because I'm just not crazy about Three Musketeers. Oh, it's like a Rice Krispie treat with
Yeah.
caramel in it, dipped in chocolate.
Yeah. No, it's not bad. And I thought,
All right.
like after having the whiskey,
I don't. Here's a big no. Here's a big
She doesn't, no.
Here's a big entry bar for me with candies. I
You
don't
like
like
nuts?
caramel.
really,
Yeah,
for like Starbucks, no caramel.
I don't like caramel.
Really, I mean, caramel frappiato, caramel
Nah. Most
No
first off, when
peppermint
I
mocha.
go to a
caramel massage oils.
First off, when I go to Starbucks, I'm usually just getting coffee. I'm a pretty straight. I don't like lattes. I don't like. We've discussed on this program before about how I'm actually a grumpy old man, and I'm slowly turning into like just like a cartoon villain. I spent a while looking. They built a new fancy Starbucks Reserve behind my house, and I've definitely spent more than one day just like standing in my window, like slowly eating something, just like glaring at the hipsters. You can get the Starbucks Wi-Fi from my bathtub. Don't worry about how I know that, but that's how close it is.
All right, on that note, it's time to go.
Wait.
No, we've run out of time.
Wait. I want to show you this. This is.
We've all seen the Three Musketeers bar.
You've never seen a Three Musketeers bar if you hate it. Look at this.
They were my favorite when I was a
Look
teenager.
at that. Look how
It's gross.
rich and like
They were actually
bountiful and just.
No, hold on. They were my favorite candy bar when I was a teenager. They were my favorite candy bar when I was a teenager, and then like I grew up and my taste changed, and I was like, no, this is gross. I've had it on your lip. Nice.
I'm gonna rebuttal you on this. I'm too busy.
Now, if we end the video
I'm
first.
too busy enjoying my life.
That's it. We'll see you guys next Saturday.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Happy
Go to
holidays.
GeekChic
Christmas.
Facebook and they'll give you some video games.
Yeah,
Yes,
and we'll
and
set up the giveaway.
We'll
giveaway.
set up
God.
giveaways. And join our newsletter, and you'll get the extra special giveaway.
Of
Didn't
your
it
love.
Go out already, or was that
The newsletter
test
for
one?
December went out, but we have one coming in January, and if you
We
sign
do,
up,
and we have an extra special giveaway.
Yes.
And follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and you'll probably get some very weird, funny photos from Christmas, from Whiskey
sure.
Christmas.
from Maple Bacon Whiskey Taste in Part 2.
He's just like fucking enjoying himself so much right now.
All right.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.